Yeah, Hotel brothers and sisters. I want to talk to you all about. If I didn't talk to you all, I'm going to talk to you all now about the murder of Craig Mack. You know, now, the reason why I say murder because I believe he was murdered. I believe he was poisoned, and when he left Bad Boy. When he left P. Diddy, you know, he was broke. He was discombobulated in his thinking. And I believe he was given something that made him temporarily lose his sanity and his common sense and his rational thinking, which he winded up in South Carolina in some back roads town under the you know, he ended up, well, let me go back a little bit. You know, him and Biggie couldn't stand him. He couldn't stand Biggie for reasons I don't know. And what I think that when Biggie said something on his record, Biggie said about himself, he said, heartthrob never, black and ugly as ever. And I think somebody came along that was just a little more uglier than he was. And it may have, I don't know, it may have pissed him off. Because, you know, Craig Mack is no, you know, Denzel Washington. You know, I mean, that's anybody. You don't have to be funny and all that to see that. However, he had some phenomenal flows. He was very, very talented, highly talented, remarkably talented, just as Biggie was. You know, the reason for their disdain for each other, I don't know. You know, however, Craig Mack, as you can see, he played around. He has an Illuminati t-shirt. And this is what I'm telling y'all. Something took place in that Bad Boy camp where Craig Mack lost his mind and ended up down in some backwoods in South Carolina. And that's a long way from being in New York, from being in Harlem, from being the man with the song Flavor in your ear, to be known worldwide and to end up underweight with a malnourished look, in some hick farm in a church, there used to be a barn, under the care of this motherfucking white pedophile that was supposed to be a pastor of the barn, because it was a barn with a whole bunch of inbred crackers down there. The place smelled like tobacco, feet, and goddamn Jack Daniels whiskey. And Craig Mack ended up down there, and he really, took very, very ill, because this motherfucker was down there fucking little children, portraying to be this so-called devout minister, and by him taking in Craig Mack, because he wouldn't have took in no average guy. He wouldn't have took in the average dude. The average dude to him, average black dude, is just a motherfucking nigga to him. Just a thug nigga to him. But he knew who Craig Mack was. And he figured he had a goddamn gold mine. If he could get this motherfucker to do gospel rap and come up with the money to record some music, get Craig Mack to do some gospel music. However, this cracker got locked up for fucking a 12-year-old girl. This girl here, I think she's 13 now. That's in the white man's nature. He's a sick piece of shit. He's a sick fuck, man. But y'all want to be like him. A lot of y'all love him. And this is curses, rapes, and rituals. The Bad Boy label, you can see it itself. It's a little boy. It's an infant baby in Pampers with a baseball hat on. trying to climb out of somewhere. It looks like a pedophilia symbol. You know, and everybody knows this bitch is the motherfucking faggot. Everybody knows he, you know, it's no secret about him. No secret. But look at all these people, G-Dep, you know, that did the Harlem Shake, you know, in jail. You know, Carl Thomas made the hit song, platinum song, I Wish. You know, one hit wonder, you know, broke as hell now, trying to find work, you know, and when you're trying to find work in industry, it's compared to like being one of those Mexicans at a 7-Eleven waiting on a work truck to come to see who wants, to see what contractor needs any workers. And that's how it is in the industry. Loon, you know, turned to religion, you know, became a Muslim. The Locks, you know, Styles P, they fell off. Jadakiss was the only one to manage to try to further his career, you know, and fight and, you know, and put himself in a position where he's able to eat. You know, Biggie, you know, as we know, you know what happened to Biggie, you know, murdered. Black Rob, you know, like, whoa, that platinum, he's in jail. You know, and back to Black Rob. See, with Black Rob, he walked into a precinct and said he want to confess to a murder that he supposedly committed years ago. And this is what I'm saying. This MK Ultra and this and the hypnosis that these people be under. You know, the group Total, one hit wonders, fell off. You know, 112, one hit wonders, fell off. Christopher Williams, you know, at one time he was gonna beat the shit out of P. Diddy's ass. You know, P. Diddy took some money from him. And a lot of people don't know that Christopher Williams in real life, he's a goddamn thug. He's connected to some people, you know, that can have your ass missing. You know, and you know, don't let that fool you about that New Jack City role when Wesley Snipes stuck that knife in his hand. You know, that was just an act. You know, he would take Wesley Snipes' ass out of here. And Shine, he just lost his motherfucking mind. You know, first he was locked up. When he took the beef for Diddy, and see, that's what they do. You know, Diddy promised them things, and they put pressure on these guys to take these beefs. Cause Diddy can't do no time. Diddy'll be getting married every other week in the penitentiary. Cause he has no fight in him. No fight in him, no resistance in him. But Shine called himself, you know, holding it down, initially being a soldier, based on the fake pacts that Diddy puts them on. Like they're a tight-knit family, they're a real family, it's so much of a tight brotherhood. When it comes down to this shit, you know, Shine went to jail 10 motherfucking years. Comes home, say Diddy didn't look out for him, angry at Diddy. You know, Diddy give him a couple of dollars. Now he's a rabbi. He wants to be a white Jew. And I'm saying this is that MK Ultra. You know, and while these guys were in jail, these guys were dead, these guys were broke on the street, he was just, you know, having the ball with their royalties. You know, and what he does, he fronts them money. This is the trick. Fronts them the money, pays for the video. Then when the shit goes platinum, the millions and millions that come in. You know, he might break them off a meal and he keeps the rest of their money. And that's how they hustle. That's how they hustle and ruin people's lives. You know, the gay club, you know, Rick Ross, Drake, you know, all of them got down in the sex rituals. Everybody knows that. It's no secret. You know, now he'll sit next, you know, because Diddy gave him a couple of dollars, you know, dress him up like a goddamn idiot, like a fucking mental patient. Because that's how, if you look in his eyes, you can just see that he's just, you know, he's just out there. You know, Loon, they went to Islam. Mace, you know, Mace got down with the sex rituals, you know, and but he went and left, you know, ran and went down Atlanta and wanted to be a baby Creflo Dollar, you know, but he, you know, but to prove that, you know, he was in the sex rituals when he was with Diddy, he got caught in Atlanta 2 or 3 times. You know, with transvestites. Twice with the same one by the same police. You know, and this one time it was right after he done a sermon in church. You know, he's naked from the waist down in his truck with this boy. You know, and it's not, you know, and Diddy, he'll do anybody, you know. And if you look, he was scared to death of Pop. Scared to death of Tupac. It was just he was just a cold faggot, man. He got Biggie killed. After Biggie took him to the mountaintop. Diddy wasn't nothing but a dancer to him. Biggie was far more skillful than he was. Far more. And knowing that they were, you know, it was a beef between East Coast and West Coast, Bad Boy and Death Row. And then Tupac is murdered. Everybody's looking at Biggie. And so Diddy allowed the FBI to persuade him to get Biggie to come to LA in the midst of all this shit. This way, the Tupac murder can be covered up and can be choked up as a loss as a result of East Coast, West Coast rivalry. Because Tupac was that was a government assassination. So was Afeni. And so that's what they did. They used Diddy to get Biggie to go to LA and also make a record called Going Back to Cali. To make Biggie, you know, to trick Biggie into making him feel like he was something other than who he really was. And trick that man. And no one else was murdered. He was the only one murdered. If it was an East Coast, West Coast thing, you get the heads of both sides. You get the top men. That means Suge Knight and Puffy. Suge Knight supposedly was grazed in the head. You know, but Diddy was nowhere near Biggie because he knew what was going to go down. You know, and at some point, you know, you're going to pay for all this shit. You know, he wasn't nothing compared to Biggie. You know, this group, they wasn't nothing. Danity Kane, just a whole bunch of white sluts, ex-strippers, you know, maybe one of them may have had a voice. The rest of it was just glamour, and they didn't go anywhere. You know, Little C's, he was in on it too. You know, he wasn't Biggie's friend. And then these niggas have the nerve to go in Mrs. Wallace's house and go to the urn where Biggie's ashes are and all, and rub the urn, kiss the urn and shit. How could you go in the man's mother's house when you know you were integral in the man's death? Some gutless motherfuckers, man. Day 26 was when Making the Band, the show Miss Diddy put up. Nobody knows where they're at now. Little Kim, who is so fucking disfigured, you know, it's sad. And that comes from the sex rituals. That comes from self-hatred. You know, MK Ultra. You know, and you just, you know, and I believe these surgeons fuck you up like that on purpose. You know, got you looking like a motherfucking cat. You know, Faith Evans. You know, Pac didn't, you know, she didn't have sex with Pac. That was just something to get Biggie mad, you know, to make him, you know, go on Faith. You know, and not trust her to break their marriage up. But she wasn't nothing either, because she slept with a rack of people as well. She was only with Biggie just for the money and the glamour. Biggie had the ability to catapult her career. So she wears that Biggie's wife label, you know, as a way to get around. You know, and that's a cracked out, coked out version, you know, of Faith Evans. Pac didn't, you can tell Pac didn't, it was just a strategy. You know, as a result of this bitch. You know, now, we're going to talk about Shitty Diddy. And this is the part about where he, is you know, all the men that's fucked him. This is Lee Daniels, open homosexual. You know, Diddy's been with him. This is one of the white faggots Diddy was fucking. You know, as you see, tongue kissing Rick Ross, and this is another one of his buddies. You know, they go to Diddy's mansion, and I'm telling you, it's a lot of wild shit that goes on in the mansions. You know, and he, you know, when Usher was a little boy, you know, Diddy fucked him too. You know, and it slipped up when he did a video, posted a video when he said him and Usher used to wake up in the morning in bed eating cornflakes, you know, frosted flakes or whatever. You know, that's Nelly. Nelly used to model Diddy's underwears. And that was the underwear party that they had for Nelly. And that's the congrats. That all Diddy wanted from Nelly is that motherfucking meat stick in his ass. You know, he loves, you don't rarely see him doing photo shoots with women. Rarely. Always men. And that's him right there. You know, that's how he wants to be every day. He just wants to be accepted like that. And it's a thing where Game 50, well not 50, Game, it's a lot of these rappers, they'll get out here and say, if you're gay, man, you know, say that you're gay and blah blah. But they know who it is. They know who it is. And they be talking about Diddy. But I don't know why they're scared to jump out there when shit like this go on. You know, that's, you know, Mayweather. You know, you know, and this is what goes on in this industry. You know, I'm going to be talking about the death of John Wilson, D.C. Councilman John Wilson, who was a mayoral candidate in the 90s that was murdered in Washington, D.C. Very interesting story. And I'm going to be coming with that, you know, at a later time. But I wanted to do the Sanaa Lathan and give you this Bad Boy P. Diddy, Craig Mack video. Hopefully you all are able to see the, hope you all are able to see some of the pictures. But pretty soon I'm going, as time goes, the technology, my personal technology is going to, be on a incline. So things are going to get better. But to my subscribers, who have faith in me, who are riding with me, I don't have nothing but mad love for you. And hang in there. We're gonna make it work, y'all. Hotel, Black Power.